Good morning, tactical interwebs. Here we are. We're back to drinking coffee and knowing things. Well, we got the drinking coffee down pretty good. Let's switch gears and go over to knowing things. So I've noticed it's a small shop owner. Geography dictates clientele. So maybe if you're in a certain area, a lot of your customers might be your AR and AK tactical guys. But here in Lake Havasu City, Arizona, a handful of my customers are more interested in precision shooting or long range shooting. So I know just enough about it to be dangerous to the point that I make myself look like an idiot with the amount that I do know compared to what I don't know. Well, how do you fix that? That you fix with the pursuit of knowledge. So I was bouncing around on YouTube and come up on a couple of Ryan M Cleckner's videos. Okay. Actually, this guy's really cool. Definitely a legit shooter. So I went ahead and I said I wanted for my birthday the Long Range Shooting Handbook. A beginner's guide to precision rifle shooting. Beginner's guide. That's very important for the amount of information I'm about to put out, because I'm going to put out just a little bit, but it's actually going to be a very profound idea. Very often on my side of the counter, I experience somebody who is just going to continually throw money rather than build skills. Okay, throw money instead of building skills. So I am going to literally take this right out of Ryan's book. Generally, a great shooter with a mediocre gun can outperform a poor shooter with a great gun. This is because good performance is more often a product of skill. It's the Indian, not the arrow, put in quotes. Although that aphorism is generally a rule, a good shooter's performance can be held back by substandard equipment when it comes to precision rifle shooting. That brings me to another quote that we all hear very often from a lot of people. The gun is more accurate than you are. Well, let's break that down real quick. I don't want this to be a 30-minute video. I am not a sniper. I am not a qualified spotter. I am not a long-range competition shooter. I'm just a guy that likes to shoot, and I want to expand my knowledge so I can better serve my customers and enjoy my time in the community, enjoying maybe some matches here. So, with that being said, a rifle is far more accurate than we are because we, as the human, we introduce variables that affect the accuracy of the rifle. If you take a rifle and you put it into a vise and you have nothing that you are contributing to the inaccuracy of that rifle will shoot far more accurate than you can. We bring with it maybe a trigger pull. Maybe we're muscling the weapon around instead of using our natural point of aim, natural sight alignment, sight picture, closing our eyes, coming back, settling the rifle. We're introducing variables. We are moving the weapon around. If you put it exactly on target, locked down in a vise, it would be perfect. So that's where skill comes back. And it just said in there, Ryan literally put it in there, skills. So yes, there is a point where a shooter's skills can get to a point of outperforming the rifle. For the vast majority of us, that is not happening. We will assume that is happening, but it's not. So today, for drinking coffee and knowing things, I know that I own rifles that are far more accurate than I am. I introduce the inaccuracy through inconsistencies. Inconsistencies, yes. So I am not going to try to sell his book. It's great so far. I'm only a little bit into it, but I wanted to share what I've gleaned from it so far. It's actually written in a way that's very understandable. He actually breaks down different powder types and the fact that ball powder affects pressure as it burns. I thought was really good. So these are ways I can better help my customers get better performance out of themselves with their rifle rather than just spending lots and lots of money. That is the most terrible business plan. But as a business owner and a community member, you have to put your people first. So that's what I'm doing. I'm expanding my knowledge, and this now is going to make a difference on my Remington 700 build in 30-06. As I'm looking at how I was going to do it, I'm still going to do it that way. Spoiler alert, I may have a second burned up rifle with a good action, and that will be built more along the lines of knowledge from this book. But consistency. Consistency is the shooter not affecting the rifle and letting the rifle consistently put rounds where it puts it. Because another quasi quote, even a rifle with a 45-degree bent barrel, as long as it shoots in the same place every time, can be adjusted to be accurate, because it's the consistency. Most of us, myself included, lack the consistency. Therefore, yes, a much better shooter who is more consistent with a subpar rifle can outshoot us. But this book is not written to be a read it and forget it. It's actually another quick little, he actually made the cover orange and he put it in here so that you could take it to the range and actually use it and be able to find it in your gear bag. I like that. That brings me to the point of analog knowledge versus digital knowledge. Digital knowledge is your phone and the internet and everything else when you're on the range, doing your thing. Analog knowledge is right there at your fingertips. You're not worried about a Wi-Fi connection. So, real quick, maybe this is my introduction to long range shooting and yours. Go ahead and put it in the comments if you shot long range for a long time and there's something that I misquote in this book, or maybe I come up with something that's another way of putting what you already know. Go ahead and put it in the comments. This is a learning experience for everybody. That's why it's drinking coffee. And knowledge. Knowledge flows two ways. If knowledge was a one-way street, everybody would be a genius and everybody else would be an idiot. That makes no sense, does it? Think about it. If we all knew everything, we wouldn't have to learn anything from anybody else. Therefore, there'd be nobody smarter than anybody. And with that little bit of rambling, that's all I got for today. Just remember, a lot of times it's not the rifle, it's the shooter, me included, possibly you included. If this is some information that might be helpful to you or you think it might be helpful, go ahead and put that in the comments. And every time I get a couple chapters in and I find something that's really good and juicy, I will be more than happy to share it. All the while, I want to make sure that everybody understands this is Ryan M Cleckner's book. This is not me. This is me reviewing the knowledge that Mr. Cleckner is sharing with all of us. That's all I got for today. Everybody stay safe, shoot straight, and let's all get better.